And here we go. This is Mr. Prophet, Mr. Prophet Joseph Smith. Pleasant name. This book has been made, it was written but it was published in 1961, and it had 10 revised and enlarged. The 14th edition, 1969. We all know that's my number. And there's the monogram for Desert Press. Ooh. Where's it at? I'm sorry. Oops. Okay, well, anyway. All right. Okay, here's your acknowledgments. I just want to kind of get to this. Okay, that man, I'm a privilege to do this because here's his fort. I worked at this fort. I'm going to do a whole thing on the fort that I worked on. He built this. This is made of stone. This ain't no wood crap. I mean, he didn't mess around. Now here is one of his monuments. The hill Kumama, his historical shrine of the church as it is today. Now remember, that was in 1969. You are looking at a giant's grave. He buried himself on a giant's grave. What's that hole down there? Never mind. Okay, now here's how he got all of his stuff. You know, I lived in Utah. I'm going to do something about that. But here's the angel that supposedly, the angel, there it is, on top of a hill. But I guess that's why it's Mormon. Because it's a fallen angel mocking God. Okay, see? Joseph Smith receives the plates from the angel. Oh, Ramsey, that name's in the headlines lately. Okay, now, here's Brad. That's in Utah. See my chipper in the back? Never mind. Okay, now skip along. This is the stuff that they were, this is the kind of stuff they're basing their a view set forth by the Book of Mormon. Okay, now listen to this. About 600 years before Christ, a small group of Israelites, warned of an impending destruction of their native city, Jerusalem, left their homeland and journeyed southward. Eventually, they crossed the ocean in a ship of their own construction and landed somewhere on the American continent. Here they proceeded to develop a civilization, but soon divided into two groups. The most advanced group were white of the skin, and the firm believers in God of Israel, and the Hebrew Scriptures, a copy of it which had been carried to the Americas. The group was called the Nephites, after their leader. The less advantaged, that'd be me, group called their leader, after the first advanced group, called after their first leader, Lamanites, became darker skinned due to a curse of God upon them for their rebellious spirit. The two people were often at war with each other. The Nephites being at times forced to abandon their homes and seek new ones. Now these people are doing their ancestries, Nephilites, and I noticed that everybody seemed to have 2% hunter-gatherer, Now, here is another. Somehow, this is an Egyptian. This is an Egyptian, and all these things are numbered in here, okay? And right there they are. See the angel of the Lord. We gotta just check him out. That would be the bird. See, that would be the bird. Abraham is fastened on the altar. Doesn't look like he's fastened. You see, you gotta see. They're reading a lot into this. See, here it is, from the book of Abraham. Okay, so that's Abraham. This is some. He's christening, and these are all the freaking gods. Okay, you see their signatures down there. Keep that in mind for further. And what is this thing over here? And look at that table. Okay, and look at all these lines. And what is that? Okay, now right down here, in the middle of the screen at the bottom, that's number 11. Twin Towers. And here's all these guys' names. Okay, they're all gods. The altar for sacrifice by the idol, all these guys. See, here we are, another idol god. Okay, here's number 11. Designed to represent the pillars of heaven as understood by the Egyptians. Boy, oh boy. But this is what got to me. Okay, I'm going to try to make this. Okay, okay, for some reason, this guy, the publication of the Book of Abraham began in the times and seasons of March. Might be a good time to be doing it. 1842 at Nauvoo with facsimiles of certain proportions of the papyrus. The wood engravings for the cuts were done by Reuben Hedlock, an engraver from Canada. John Taylor, he's a very important too. He has a house in St. George. A worker in wood was also present. A worker on the times and seasons at the time. Okay, well, forget all that. Okay, so anyway, he has all these documents, right? And after he died, his wife sued everybody to get him. So what she did with him, it says it right here. I'm just kind of skimming over here. See? What she did with him right away is she sold him to the St. Louis Museum of Chicago. Wait. Okay. Sold by her to a museum in St. Louis. From hence, they found their way into the Museum of Chicago. Yeah, right, really? In the Great Chicago Fire, the museum was totally destroyed, and with it was the precious manuscripts. So, I never heard this part of the Mormon story. The manuscripts of Joseph Smith was burned in the Chicago fire. The translation made by Joseph Smith of some of the engravings remain as one of the greatest. Now, oh yeah, that's right. Here's a good one. The engravings remain as one of the greatest contributions to the field of religion. Well, not if they burned up, buddy. Okay, that's not it. The translation part of the scrolls contained by Abraham's personal account in his early life, the creation of the world as revealed to him by God, a graphic description of the astronomy of heavens, the system of rotating planets described by Abraham, presents a knowledge of astronomy which is startling to the modern world. No prophet ever gave to the world a stronger challenge of his divine calling than did Joseph Smith in his publication of the Book of Abraham. Is this reassuring about not flat earth? Isn't it specifically stated in the Bible how the earth, in its description, there's no way possible it's going to be round? It's supposed to be square, actually, with 4 angels holding up the edges or something, and pillars. So he's saying that God, this is to reinforce. There you go. I need a cigarette. See, just to reinforce the rotating planets. Man, so there you go. And that's just 2 pages of this darn thing. This will blow you away. But as you read, the story read 600 years before Christ was born. The giants came to this land. Those were giants. They got here before the flood. Crossed the ocean. It didn't say they were in a boat. It said they were in their ships. Get it? And they crossed the ocean. It didn't say how. They weren't on the water. Or maybe they were under the water. Got to read between the words. And there, I'm going to tell you right now, this was all this whole religion by a fallen angel was to reinforce a few situations. And if you look at the Mormon religion, it's pretty daggone strong, like the Catholics. So there you go. And that's to enforce all of our debunkers today. And there you have it. Earth is round. This guy got drunk and fucked a whole bunch of little girls. I'm sure God's going to be talking to him.